I guess I could tell you, come here and I could tell you that I'm a father. I could come here, I could tell you I'm a journalist. But I think more important than all of that, over the last 2 years, I've become an addict. I'm an addict and my name is Joe Ward. And my addiction, it's not caffeine, it's not drugs, it's not alcohol. My addiction has become questioning the mainstream narrative. You see, I question the government when I'm told things like 60% of the MPs that currently stand were standing 2 decades ago. So if I couldn't trust them during the Iraq War, I can't trust them now. I question the government when I find out things like during the First and Second World Wars, most of our first world countries were bankrupted. We pay a debt. Guess who bought up all of that debt? The richest 1% in this world. They own the debt. They don't care about money. They care about 2 things. They care about fear and they care about control. So I ask all of you here today, based on that information, can you trust the government? I find myself questioning the mainstream media. When I do some research and I find out that every single mainstream media corporation up and down the world is owned by just 6 companies. That's 6 people. So when you walk into a newsagent and you see all these front page newspapers and they're all saying the same thing, it's by design. It's because they are all owned by the same people. So I ask you, on this basis, can we trust the media? I ask myself, can I trust the people that are in charge to look after my children? Social services, child protective services. When I find out from whistleblowers such as Angie New and Rachel Vaughan and Jeanette Archer that these are run on incentive-based schemes, that means the more children that are taken away from people, the more bonuses these people make. So I ask you again, can we trust children's services in this country? I find myself questioning science. When I look at the statistics up and down, and trust me, I've been where each and every person around here. But before the year 2019, I could have gone along with mainstream science. I believed in a lot of conspiracy theory, but I always believed that science and doctors and nurses had our best interests at heart. But when I researched and I find out that in the year 1980, autism rates stood at 1 in 10,000. They now today, in the year 2021, stand at 1 in 50. So I ask you, can we trust the medical profession? This all only ends when each of us all stand together and we say no. If you are wearing a on your face, if you are considering, I just ask you to ask yourself the questions that I have put to you today. Can you trust the government? Can you trust the media? Can you trust the science that they pay for? Then you cannot trust this. Ladies and gentlemen, please keep supporting independent media. Please keep supporting rallies, and please keep supporting people like Jordan, who are giving everything they can today, because this is now a war. It is a war on our minds. And if you still believe that this is left versus right, black versus white, gay versus straight, you are fighting the wrong battle. It is us versus them. The last thing I'm going to say is, police officers, I just would like to remind you that each and every one of you around here today, the police are meant to be a separate organisation from the government. This means when the government asks you to do things, if this is against your oath or even against your own beliefs, you have the right to say no. So even police officers, you also have the right to say no. Please remember that. Ladies and gentlemen, good night. Please unite with each other. Please love one another, and please respect one another. Remember, there are no enemies. There is in fact only one enemy, and that is the 1% in charge. And we can defeat them if we stand together. Thank you, Chichester.